Hey guys, what's up? This is Fula with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. I really hate to be doing these videos, but I do it anyway in hopes my intention is maybe it'll like get some people to be aware of like what's going on and things like that. Because, you know, it's not necessarily that I'm giving this guy energy. I'm just trying to bring him down because of the simple fact. Like, I'm tired of these guys like Polite. I'm tired of these guys like Nature Boy. I'm tired of these guys doing this kind of thing, you know, hiding consciousness, um, but really in reality, they're unconscious, um, and don't think I don't go hard at my own people who are like still like colonized in the mind and stuff like that. It's a work in progress for us continental Africans to step out of our colonial mentality. But I just have to do this video because like this really bothered me because like I'm like really close to the women of my family. And the women of my family taught me, and and they really kind of like, you know, were sometimes around me more than my dad was, simply because my dad was always he was on the field. He was, in politic and stuff like that. He was like basically always busy, but still he taught me things and everything. And mind you, my dad was a guerrilla too, who fought, against colonialism. So of course you're going to learn from women. And I just really was just bothered listening to like what I'm about to play, and I was just listening to it, and it just really, really like made me almost cringe because he's saying it so freely, and he's saying it like not knowing that his followers, you know, he doesn't realize that, if his followers are doing this, what he's saying that he does, then in the like, I want to say, as far as karma, that's going to come back to him. you know his followers' deeds are going to be his deeds. And I'm just going to play this, and you know and this really just sickens me a lot.
And I'm a woman beater. Yes, I've hit my woman before. Yes, I'm passionate with my woman, and I yoke my woman up. Like that's just me. I said that about me in all videos. Like I'm a very passionate person. That's what I do.
And like, just hearing that's not passion, that's anger, bro. You're not passionate, you're angry. You're really angry. You don't do that, man.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's not what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hurt my woman.
And then you see how he backtracks and stuff like that. So I don't get why people follow this guy. I really don't get it. It's really clueless to me. He goes in and says, I've yoked my woman, this, that, and the other. But then he backtracks and he says that I don't want to hurt my woman. It's like, why are you following a bipolar Satan? Like, I don't get it. Like, what do you get out of it? Is your self-esteem that low that you need to follow someone like this? Like, what do you get out of it? A false sense of illusion, basically. You let this like guy sell you an illusion.
I'm not abusive. You know what I'm saying? But I'm passionate. You want to tell me? Women love to get choked. They like to get choked. They might want you to chase them and rape them. Like when I say I'm talking about like play like rape and be a little rough with them. Passionate. Women love passion. Women need to know when you're touch them, it's intentional. Like they want to feel that you are touching them with all the intent in the world. Women are attention seekers. They love attention, so you have to know how to be passionate with women and handle them like that. You have to. If you don't, then you're not going to have a long anyway. So it just is what it is. But that's just a little game, one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? You do got your females out there that's like, oh, be gentle, but even then, you know what I'm saying? Like, women want it rough. They like a rough man. They like a rough. They like it. Some women, unfortunately, like to get beat. You know what I'm saying? Just to feel like you care about them. That's just unfortunate. And but that's just some certain situations. But I'm a passionate dude. I'm a passionate lover. When I love my woman, I'm passionate. You know what I'm saying? And I will yoke you up, and it's love. It's not like just a violent, but it's a passion, and that's just who I am, yo. You know what I mean? Like, huh? Perfect for me.
So, first and foremost, I can say right now that in African society, he would not exist. In fact, he would be kicked out. He would be kicked out of the village, if he were to talk like that or something like that and like say these words. And you hear the woman who I smell her older all the way from I smell her older over here, and I'm all the way in Los Angeles, but I still smell her. She smells like the stench of death. And it's sad that I can smell her all the way from Los Angeles, and they're in Mexico, basically. Hear her giggling at that, and she's not afraid that he may hurt her or something like that. There's no fear or there's no nothing like that. She's just giggling along, which just goes to show her how she feels about herself, and how much esteem she has about herself, that she's letting this man uh talk about you know talk about these things. And again, I want to go to some manuscripts that I have about the treatment of women, and like, because this is very important to me, and I'm not trying to sound like a simp, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm like trying to like kiss up or worship women. I'm just trying to give a perspective that I was raised with, and that um you know that is total opposite to what he's given, because he talks about living in nature, but actually what he's doing is against nature, totally against the natural order. And so I want to look at these 10 advices given from one of our early predecessors in regards to women. I'm just going to get right into it, um, because it's just disgusting, man. What this guy is doing, it's really disgusting, and I won't rest until somehow he stopped. I won't rest. Basically, he will get stopped. There will be something that will stop him, and I will see to it that I'm orchestrating something from afar to stop him, because nobody deserves to be hurt like that, especially when that person has a choice in the matter to get out of there. We already have problems with like uh, other people. We can't let people like that share our same complexion do that, man. It's not gonna work. So one of the um first things is that the guy said that women like attention, and they like to be told clearly that they are loved. And so you shouldn't be stingy in expressing your love to the woman. If you become limited in expressing your love, then you will create a barrier of harshness between you and her, and there will be a decrease in affection. So there's a difference between love and passion. Sure, Nature Boy is lustful. Sure, Nature Boy is passionate, but he doesn't love women. He does not love women. Let's get that. Let's know the difference between love and passion. Okay. Um, the third thing is that ladies really don't like a strict, overcautious man. You know, that's why I think a lot of the women were kicked out of Carbon Nation at the beginning. It's because that's what he was, you know, and that's what he is. At the same time, they don't want like a one who's too soft or too vulnerable, and that's understand. They want the middle ground, you know. Each quality should be used appropriately, you know. It'll be better for love and bring a peace of mind. He also said that, you know, may Jah have mercy on him, that ladies like from their men that, you know, what their husbands like from them. So, like kind words, good looks, clean clothes, and a pleasant odor. Nature Boy, opposite of that. So, he doesn't even want a woman to look good. That's the thing. He doesn't want a woman to like basically be at the highest quality of her beauty, because otherwise, if he did, he wouldn't have them looking ragtag, raggedy, unhealthy, malnourished, and um just looking dusty, man. Like that, all of those females there look dusty as hell, man. And I'm a person of African descent and stuff like that. And even women in my village still manage to beautify themselves, still manage to look good, you know, like it's really disgusting how they look, you know, on in carbonation. So like for him to say that he's actually like living in nature and stuff like that, part of living in nature is to want to keep yourself up. You know, the fact that those women don't look keep up, they look dirty, they look dusty, the fact that I smell their stench from here is a tell all story on how he takes care of them, you know, which he doesn't. Another thing, women like the house is under the sovereignty of women. And she feels like she's upon her throne when she's in the house, like she's the chief in the house. So you shouldn't like step on her toes in that regards, you know. Otherwise, you'll be trying to snatch her space. So, you know, um, that's one thing about it. A woman wants to love us, sure, but you know, she doesn't want to lose her family. Basically, basically, what Nature Boy did is is um Nature Boy, she he made these women choose in between their family and him. Um and you know, the fact that they chose him over their family, they're in anxiety constantly, and you can tell, you know, and I think eventually that's going to turn into hatred, you know. That's what I think. I really think so, you know. And then he just doesn't have mercy on them, you know. He doesn't have mercy on those women at all, from what I hear. And let's look at something else that was written about family obligations that one of the my forefathers wrote and passed it down to our family. You know, one of the obligations of like a man towards a woman is that he should tolerate annoyance and endure injury from her and be forbearing, but and indulge in an understanding when she gets angry. But what that means, that doesn't mean that you let a woman walk over you. It just means that you maintain your chill, you know. You maintain your calmness in her anger, you know. But knowing Nature Boy and a woman getting angry, we won't see that. We'll see the complete opposite because he's already told you that he will snatch up women and do all of that. He told you that. Another thing I want to say is that you should stimulate the sage said you should stimulate a woman's mind by engaging with her in lawful jokes and sports, but not go too far with it, you know. And that's one thing. And then another thing is educate her. You know, Nature Boy is not educating any of those women. He's in fact he's stagnating those women. Those women are stagnant, you know. Those women are very stagnant, you know. And so I don't know I don't know like how to like really like I mean and the problem is they won't even listen to other women. And that's a problem. You know, they're so far gone into that stagnation that they won't even listen to other women, you know? This is a problem. This is a big time problem. And then let me read something last. Let me read one more thing and then I'll just shut this down, man. But I'm just like shocked at what I hear from this guy. I'm really shocked, you know. I'm really shocked. If those women knew their rights, if those women in that hellhole knew their rights, they would all get together and try to find a way to end that guy. They would try to find a way, but they don't even know their rights. They don't even know their own self-worth. That's the sad thing. You know, that's the sad thing. Very sad. Because what it says here, what the sage said here is that women form a very integral part of society, but they also constituted the larger and more basic and more solid part of the society due to the fact that they're custodians of the home, which is the foundation of society. And they are the most important factors in the stabilization of society. Secondly, women's role in bringing up children um, imbued with the spirit and orientation of emergent order would need at least one generation to take root and not be overemphasized. The youth are the pillar of any revolution, insofar as it is their energy and zeal that give it the requisite strength and vitality to challenge the prevailing order at the end. And the youth are principally formed by women. So this guy, I mean, I'm worried about those kids more importantly because those women's are weak. Those women are weak. So how are those kids going to be raised to be weak? But let's say uh these kids that are born are girls. They're going to just be raised to be walked on like a doormat or something like that. They're going to be raised not to have esteem. They're going to be raised to basically accept being beat and all of that. They're going to be raised with these ideas that it's okay. And so, how are they going to raise their kids if they have kids? He's just creating a evil cycle, and I'm going to do what I can to put an end to it. I really am. And there's some precautions right here too. You know, let me see. It says if a woman's spiritual and moral development is in danger of being frustrated by her man's unjustifiable demands, which obviously stem from selfishness and high handedness, then she should assert her rights and take whatever steps she deems necessary to safeguard her moral and spiritual well being. If that puts her relationship at risk with the man, so be it. But those women won't do that. They won't do that. They won't do it at all. And at this point, I think they're afraid. You know, I think they're really afraid at this point to do that. And so, um, it's just crazy, man. And the sad thing is, people are actually entertaining it. And this is another thing that we need to look at as well. Women are entitled to a decent and dignified life, free from humiliation and begging independence. A woman is in greater need of economic protection since economic insecurity could lead her to the kind of life which undermines not only her integrity, but the very foundations of society. So, with this being said, what he's doing is undermining them so badly. Like when I say undermining, she like they're being they're being very, very undermined. Okay. And it's just crazy that they're allowing themselves to be undermined. So it's a I guess you can say it's a blessing that there's very few in that society that they're living in right there, like between them. But it's also a curse because they have access to this media which other people can see, and they're going to think it's okay too. Their followers are going to think it's okay to do this, you know? And and he won't let them work or anything like that because he doesn't trust them and they basically can't work in that jurisdiction, you know? That's the thing, you know? And it's I don't know how people can really support this. I really don't, you know. That's the thing. Yeah, and I guess I want to just do one more thing. And this guy is not, and that's the thing, this guy is not a doctor. This guy is not trained for these kids to have to have like babies. Like he's not trained to do that, you know, and they're not trained to do it either. The women aren't trained to do it, you know. And the thing is about them, about those women together, they're competing with one another. You know, they're not even there for each other, you know. So I don't know why. I kind of have an idea of what's going to be the end result of this madness, you know. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a good one. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm just gonna leave it at this right now. You know, I said what I wanted to say. I gave my examples from uh, the forefathers who always knew better than me and who will always know better than me. And if nobody stops this guy, then I'll go out on my shield trying to stop him because he's nothing more than a colonizer too. He's using the same tactics in being a colonizer, you know. And I'm gonna pulverize him, you know. I'm gonna intellectually pulverize him and spiritually uh, and morally pulverize him until it's done, until he's irrelevant, you know. And by me talking about him, I know it sounds like I'm making him relevant, but no, I'm not making him relevant. I'm calling him out on this stuff that, you know, and if I don't care if he sees this live stream or if one of his followers see this live stream, I want all the smoke, you know. I want all the smoke. So it doesn't matter, you know, because I'm not a docile um dumb guy who needs acceptance from people. I'll ride out on my own shield. But leave your comments, let me know what you think, and let me know if you um, have any ideas on how we can stop this madness. You know, let me know if you have any ideas because you know honestly at this point he's an enemy to he's an enemy not only to he's not only an enemy to nature and the natural order of things. He's not only an enemy to himself, but he's an enemy to society at large. You know, we don't need him. We don't need more contributions to the moral decay of the society that than we have right now. That's all I got for now, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you like my channel, which I talk about mostly boxing and football meaning soccer, but sometimes these social issues as well, then go ahead and subscribe. Well, until next one. Jarama.